All right. Well, hello everybody. Paint Marine here, and take two. I actually had filmed a whole other status report, um, but it's been a long time since I've done a status report or any kind of video other than what I've recently been doing. Um, and anyway, so yeah, I had no sound. The microphone was looking like it was recording and working, and it was, but I guess there's like another setting that I had to turn up or whatever so that the sound would actually get recorded at a decent volume. So, anyway, yeah. But yeah, anyway, welcome to the channel, to my hobby space, everything that entails. Like I said, it's been a very long time. It's been well over a year. I think my last, what was it? January, I want to say. I don't know. It's been a long time since my last status report. I used to do them monthly, but life has just been hectic and crazy. Work, life, family, four young kids, so it's just always busy, go go go, and just not having a lot of time to make the videos, to give updates. I've been trying to, I've been staying kind of up to date with the hobby. But lately, these last few months, I've really been able to kind of really get my teeth sunk back into things and really get some some painting done and some hobby stuff knocked out and kind of find my new stride with that. That being said, um, yeah, just a lot going on, right? So I mean, I haven't played any games since Nova, and I even like sometime after Nova, I want to say like I got really busy and didn't even have time to paint, to do any kind of hobby stuff. But slowly been getting back in the swing of it. What was it? Leviathan. When did Leviathan came out before Nova? Right? It was last summer. So it's been almost a year since Leviathan. Um, what was there was something else that just recently. Oh, I don't remember now. But anyway, yeah, I've been just really, like I said, kind of get my I don't know, my swing back into things. So I think the biggest thing that really kind of helped was um, the upcoming model of the month for the Death Watch, or not Death Watch, sorry, Death Wing. I was really excited for that, so I just started kind of getting my whole hobby space like reorganized, reset up better, so I could just dive back into getting some stuff knocked out. So, and with doing that, I have a lot of stuff getting ready for Nova this coming year that I want to enter in the Capital Palette, different categories I've never entered before. Um, so I've entered the bust category before, but it wasn't like my best work by any means. It was kind of a rush job, but also just to kind of see how I would do. I didn't get anything for it, I didn't place or anything. And there was also kind of the unfortunate thing of somebody else in that same one actually um, had the same bust, which they did phenomenally better. And I don't even know if they were in the same skill level as I was, but it's really hard to to enter something when someone paints the exact same thing, because then it's really easy to compare obviously your work versus somebody else's. So, um, but no, I did the Space Bear bust that I've had for 3 or 4 years now, that I got from Jazza, the YouTuber. You may have seen his stuff. He does a lot of different art things, and then he started a secondary channel called Tabletop Time, which he's kind of handed the reins over to the tabletop team, but he still kind of guests, pops in here and there. But he's kind of the overall, he's got kind of his, I don't know, artist empire kind of thing that he's kind of building or whatever it is. But anyway, he started doing a custom chapter of Space Bears, and with that, he also did like a bust, which is really cool. So I had got that when it initially came out, and you can still get the STLs for it. I don't have a 3D printer, so I got it when they were offering the physical model. And finally it was kind of intimidating, but I finally got around to painting it, and I'm extremely happy with the way it turned out. I think I'll do well in that category. Don't know how well, but I think I should be able to at least medal. But I don't know. We'll see. Again, the grading with Capital Palette works a little bit different than others. You're really only graded against yourself in a rubric. So yeah, like I'm my own competition essentially. But also with that, Space Marine 2 is supposed to be coming out in September. Very excited for that. As such, I had got the Space Marine board game they came out with, which it's $40. As far as I know, it's only at Target in the States. I don't know if it's available anywhere else outside of the States, but it's, again, just a simple board game that they kind of set up a very introductory style kind of game to it. Essentially, you have Lieutenant Titus, the exclusive model to that game, and then some Gaunts. I can't remember how many it comes with. I want to say it's 20, maybe? I don't remember how many come in a box. It's one box of Hormagaunts. Right, the shooty kind. That's the Hormagaunts, I believe. Or Termagaunts. I think it's the Termagaunts. Hormagaunts are the stabby ones. But anyway, so it comes with a box of them, which I think retail right now for about $50. So pretty good deal right there. You get an exclusive model and a set of models that would run you $50 right now for $40. And then on top of it, currently there's a sale going on at Target. I don't know how long it's going to go, and I also don't know if that means that the game's about to be discontinued from the shelves or not, because it's been out at least a year by now, and I'm not really sure how long they keep those box games at regular retailers going for. But anyway, they discounted it by almost $10. It's like $31. But then if you have what they call the Target Red Card, which is essentially you can set up as just a debit card to your bank account, and you get an extra 5% off. So then it's like another dollar. So it's basically $10 off, or you can also say that you save tax. The red card thing is a decent deal, but essentially, like, there's no cost to it. But so what's the point? Like, why do you get savings for nothing for signing up for this thing? Well, it's a way for them to essentially track what you're buying every time you come there. So then in their little Target app and emails they send you, they can better, essentially use your data of what you're buying from them to cater their advertising to you, essentially. So that's what your trade-off is you're letting them know exactly. Not that they couldn't probably figure it out other ways, because everything everywhere is always listening and recording everything now. But this just is kind of like more or less just putting it up front, and at the same time for letting your information about what you're buying from them be known. You're getting 5%. So, what else? Well, I mean, so gotten a lot of other things kind of kicked out. I've been working on some kill teams because they've been really fun way to keep changing things up. Love my Space Marines, but kind of I think that was a part of it too, was kind of getting a little bit burnt out of the scheme. And I'd run into this thing in general where also with Games Workshop and their release schedule with Space Marine stuff, it's just constant Space Marine stuff coming out all the time. And it's just like, you can't, it just seems like there's just never ending. Like, as soon as you feel like you're kind of catching up, you're going to get ahead, you just fall behind. Like, because they release another new unit, new character, new whatever, Space Marine. It's just like, there is so much stuff going on with Space Marines. It's hard to keep up. So, and that's one of those things where it's like, I love my Space Marines. I also really love my homebrew chapter, but it makes it hard to, like, if I wanted to try to like have a different primary army, which I can, and I would shelve these for the time being. But in the past, I've been able to, I've loved all my armies I've had, right? Like, I had my Dark Angels first, and I had Salamanders, and, I have had Tau multiple times, and things like that. And I often will, sell them off and help fund the next army, the next project, and kind of recycle them that way. But doing the homebrew chapter actually makes this a lot harder, because I don't want to give them up. There's a lot of work that went into them. To the point where if I ever was to kind of give them up, like, as this may sound kind of like messed up or toxic, if you will, in a way where, like, I kind of would be like, if I can't have them, nobody can. So, like, I would sell them, but I would like, I don't know. I just feel like I would want to spray them all in like, just reset them basically. Spray them all in like black or gray primer or something and just reset them. Let somebody else paint them how they want. But they're not gonna have what I painted. I know, and I'm perfectly fine selling painted models. I've sold fully painted armies. My Kakardon army, my Salamanders army, my Dark Angels. My Salamanders and my Kakardons were like, my Dark Angels they were all right, but they were my first army. I was definitely learning at the time, But my Kakardons and my Salamanders, both labors of love, super super awesome. The Kakardons, I had lots of conversions in there because idea of like, they're this chapter that nobody really knows about, so they can't really just get resupplied like normal. So there's a lot of kit bashing that's going on of mixed matching armors and repairs and stuff to the things, and yeah, I just it's hard to sell any models that you put a lot of time and effort into, but I just these would be way harder too because not only is it time and effort, but there's like the whole lore and story I've put behind them, and it's such a unique paint scheme. It's kind of like I wouldn't want somebody else to, I don't know, I guess take ownership of what I painted and I don't know, try to push it off on their own, and it doesn't seem as bad, I guess, with the other armies because people very well could have done that with the Salamanders and Kakardon armies that I've sold, and done that, pass them off as their own painting or whatever. But this is like I said, just different because it's just so unique. So, but like I was saying with that, it's hard and I'm very jealous kind of other people that have started in the hobby as like a different faction. I know a lot of the other factions complain a lot of times like, oh, I didn't get an update, or our codex needs an update still, or we're waiting forever, and we didn't get a new unit, or we only got a character, or whatever. We don't get like these things like the Space Marines always get, which is kind of one of those things where it's like don't curse what you have, like be thankful for what you got, because I'm kind of jealous of those other armies that kind of get the slower updates and don't get a new thing every time you wake up in the morning, because there is kind of a finish line if you think about it. Like you can get, I don't know, eventually you can collect so many crisis suits and you've just got so many that like there's probably no way that you're going to need any more crisis suits unless they come out with a new kit, which they have. They've updated the crisis suits, but it wasn't like they updated the whole Tau army at that time. Like they've been slowly rolling it out. Like I want to say the Fire Warriors got an update in was it 2016 when they had that kind of pseudo new kind of kill team, but it wasn't what the iteration of kill team is now. It was, kind of a more official set. Came with, I want to say, some scouts and then Fire Warriors. And anyway, like the Fire Warriors at the time was the new Fire Warriors molds, sets, whatever, that you could also then build as breachers. So yeah, so it was that's kind of like their oldest new it, or their first of the updates that started rolling out, and that was like, I mean, we're only 2 years away from the new Fire Warriors almost being 10 years old already, which is kind of crazy to think that far back. It's also kind of crazy to think right now that that's about the same time Age of Sigmar launched too, which is kind of my other point with selling models and reselling in general, especially with how bloated Space Marines have gotten lately. It's the same thing as like the Stormcast Eternal issue, right? Like they got very bloated. They releasing, or not re-releasing, but kind of like it's almost like they're in a soft reboot again right now of at least the Stormcast Eternal line. They got rid of a whole bunch of models when the Stormcast had first come out. And it's kind of like we're at that point with Space Marines. Like they definitely have way too much. They're way too just thick in the codex, and they need to get rid of some stuff. Like I think we're gonna really start seeing like the tactical Marines fall off. The old Space Marine bikes are falling off. Like all the really old stuff is gonna be falling off. But even still, like, I mean, they're coming out like, how many different troop choices kind of things do we have now? Like, instead of just calling it like you have assault marines, and you can throw jump packs on them and call them, assault jump pack marines or whatever. It's like troop choice. You have assault marines. It can be or like a troop or battle line or whatever they're calling it now. You got Primaris intercessors. Then you have like the Gravis heavy intercessors. The infiltrators, I think, are battle line now, or they were, or incursors were, or I don't know. And then it's just that whole kind of thing, that restructuring too. I wish they would go back to troops choice, elite choice, fast attack, that kind of thing. Like, I like that better. It also made it easier for me for putting squad markings on things to know like what's a fast attack, what's close support, what's heavy support. Like, for the most part, you kind of get an idea still, but it's just, I don't know, a little different. And then um, with separating everything out, instead of like having a tactical squad that can carry heavy weapons or whatever, like everything's got to be its own thing now. So you got like a million different squads of you got your Eradicator Marines, your Furnace Marines. It's just like the list goes on. We got a million different Redemptor style dreadnoughts now, plus the tactical war suits. And before you'd have like your Ironclad, your Venerable, and your Dreadnought, not including Contemptor and all that. Before they brought Contemptors into regular 40K, um, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot going on with Space Marines, and it's hard to keep up. And I was one that I was initially, when I was making my homebrew, I was like, I'm gonna get everything for Space Marines. I'm gonna convert it into some kind of way so it can fit with my army. And I've done that to a point, but I've gotten to the point now too where I can't do that at all anymore. It's just not feasible. And that came around with the Black Templars when they came out, that Crusader squad. I was gonna try to do something with that, but I was like, no, that's a little bit too different, and there'd be like too much work to try to get them in. And then the Dark Angels, and they have like their Inner Circle champions, and it's all very tempting, right, to somehow fit them in, but I can't. It's just too much work. I've already well behind on just the other regular stuff with the Space Marines that I just don't have the time. I'm like, yeah, just don't have the time to worry about all that. So pulling back on that. I'm gonna focus on the troop choices and vehicles that I have that I still need to get painted. But with that, like, I have like a whole ton of characters that I was gonna do. Um, that again, I don't have the time to do, and I'm just gonna have to probably just sell them off for what I have. Um, which hopefully people will want them and do something with them. But yeah, they're like a bunch of the chapter specific characters that I kind of de-chapterized and made them more generic looking to try to fit them into my army. So like the Salamanders character, I can't remember all their names, but like the Raven Guard, like all of these, specific characters that came out when they were first releasing kind of named characters for the Primaris. I bought them, and I had fun building them and converting them, and like I said, kind of taking all their symbols off to make them more generic. But I just don't have the time. Plus, I don't plan on running all those different chapters to actually utilize those characters in their generic form for my army. So it is what it is. Like, I basically have to just pull back, accept that, sell them off, hopefully recoup some of the cost there, and kind of move forward. But yeah, so that's kind of where I am there. I worked on a couple of the Tau stuff. Got my Storm Surge done, which looks amazing, with especially with the Deadly Print Studios different missile effects and stuff and blast of it. Just looks amazing. I'm extremely happy with the way that turned out, and I'm kind of addicted now to a lot of the stuff they sell. I actually been putting in multiple orders and stuff for various things just because their effects are cool. I did my so the Kroot stuff came out too, and that kind of energized me to work on my Tau, to where I pulled out the Pathfinders from Chalnath from forever ago. Again, something else that I think what is almost 3 years ago, I feel like that came out. I've never finished that kill team. Uh, which that's like another thing that has kind of its own creep because now it's like, okay, so we have this Pathfinders team. So there was like the Tau Index team, which I know big thing was like taking stealth suits with them with the Pathfinders and Fire Wars, I think. But anyway, I remember stealth suits were big on that one. Then they came out with these Pathfinders, and then the Kinban, the Kroot Kinban came out, uh, and then the or soon to be the rumor Vespid. So right there we have like three Tau kill teams. I just don't know which ones are still viable or like are these other ones getting replaced? Like so will the Pathfinders not really be a thing once the Vespid come out? Like I don't know. And then obviously I think there will be rules for the Vespid for regular 40K as these are rumored to be updated models, so that would be pretty cool. So pretty excited to see what those are going to look like. I feel like they're going to look pretty epic and have some pretty cool poses. So yeah, I think those would be really awesome. Excited for that. And Scions, right? So it's going to be, the rumor is Scions versus Vespid. So definitely excited to get that. My son has really been kind of getting interested more and more into the hobby. Got him his first combat patrol the other day of the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard. He's really likes their aesthetic. It's kind of similar to conventional military stuff. So it's something that like nowadays can kind of relate or recognize. So he's really, like I said, kind of gravitated toward the Imperial Guard and their whole aesthetic. So be cool to get some new Scions. Like it's something that he could throw into his army as well. And my assumption when the way they usually do this is just like one team is like an old kit that gets an upgrade sprue, and the other is like a brand new thing. So my guess is it would be Vespid brand new, and then the Scions are going to get an upgrade sprue to add some specialist flair to the kill team. But yeah, I don't know. There's its own kind of rapid effect there with how much stuff is coming out. But other things that are happening. So like with the kill team kind of stuff, I got I had somebody had posted in a Facebook group I'm in that they have a store. They have a lot of extra 40K stuff, and they're just trying to offload a bunch of their inventory for like 30% off or more. And so I got an actual decent deal on a few things. I got a Malice Scepter, which they try to do some kind of conversion work, and it's not the best thing, but I really only wanted it for this Dead Terminator, which I'll talk on in a second. This is a project I've got working on for Nova this year. I got that. I got Boss Sneakrot. I think that's how you say it, Sneakrot. And then this Imperial Knight Lancer, which I'll also talk about here in a second. So anyway, doing the Sneaky Boss guy was really fun. I did this kind of like, I tried this thing where I did like a nighttime OSL thing where like this flare thing that's on the ground was creating like an OSL light, but everything else was dark, so it's like he was sneaking in the dark. I also did like a green lens kind of thing on his, I don't know, whatever goggle things he has, trying to do kind of a Splinter Cell kind of homage or feel to it. So I think it looked really cool and really awesome. And I've always liked the Orc Commandos, the old ones. At one point I had bought them for the previous version of Kill Team, like the old Finecast ones. Built them, and again, just never got around to them, so I ended up selling them. And then they ended up coming with new updated Commandos in the Kill Team box. So I recently just picked them up off of eBay from someone for a decent price. They didn't come with instructions or anything or bases or a box. They were at least all on sprue and everything was there. So got that, but excuse me. That's why they're I guess fairly cheap. But anyway, got them all built up. They're not painted or anything, but they're at least built up, ready to go. Excited to that because orcs, just a different way to paint, a fun way to paint. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna go with them. I definitely like the idea of just doing orc green skin, but anyone that knows orcs knows that the sneaky guy's got to be purple. So I don't know. Just kind of let's think, do I do a purple skin color because they're sneaky or not? But yeah, like I said, I got my Chalnath team out and good to go. I can't find the recon drone, which I know I had done in case I wanted to take the recon drone, but I got the 2 extra Pathfinders in the in lieu of, because you can take 12 operatives or whatever, or 10 if you take the recon drone. So then you're taking 11 -2 kind of, or -1. But anyway, the recon drone takes up two Pathfinders. So, but yeah, I don't know. I know I made that one. I know I didn't make any of the other drones, which I'm thinking now I might just make one of each just to have on standby. Plus, especially like the shield drone, I got a really cool shield effect from Deadly Print Studios for shield drones that I definitely want to utilize. So, um, yeah, I'll probably at least do a gun, shield, and marker light, uh, graviton inhibitor, and pulse accelerator drone, I believe, are the other options as well. So I got to get my drone bits together and put those together so they're ready to go. And then the Votan kill team, the Hearthkin Salvagers. Yeah, got that box. Excited to do that. Was initially, so I had actually got 2 box sets of the Votan Army set when it came out, and then a bunch of other Sagittars and other kits that, like the Thunderkin and all that I never got around to doing. I had started, if you see this guy here, had started painting the initial 2 army set boxes in this like synth wave, like did like a pinkish purple undercoat or whatever you want to say, like a bottom down or bottom up rather kind of shadow, and then top down try to do like almost like zenithal blue on them, and they look cool. They look all right, and obviously they're not even close to done. I had done a test model of the model of the month when it was the Votan back when, and it looked good. I just saw so many other people do the synthwave and knock it out of the park that I really kind of lost my steam to do that. But recently, and I've posted on my Facebook and Instagram and stuff, recently did, and on this YouTube channel as well, you'll see one of the previous videos. But anyway, recently did a color scheme of the Lego Ice Planet, and I really like it. So it's kind of going back and forth. There's the memes that were going around of like the Ninja Turtle scheme or the Ice Planet scheme. Seen a few, did a few searches and found a few other people's versions of Ice Planet, and it looks good. But I'm going to put my own flair on it and everything, and I really like the way it turned out. So I will be repainting the Votan as the Ice Planet. Now, I'm still on the fence on the whole army as of right now. Like, I've taken out a lot of these weapons specialists out of the squads that I've had built already. So that way I just have them like ready to go for the kill team. And then I gotta build the other one. So I guess I could maybe just or I don't know, include them in if I were to decide to sell. I'm just still not too sure on the fence because like I got so much stuff going on. Like I don't know if I want to sell them or not, or what I want to do exactly with them. Yeah, I don't know. But the Votan is another thing too, right? Like this kill team is about to essentially kind of get replaced again with the Hearthkin Jaegers, which are like I guess this new unit that's coming out that seem to be like akin to scouts, which I think look cool. But again, it's just like okay, so how viable or what's happening with the old kill team of Votan? Are they still usable? Are they not going to be as cool because they're not the new thing? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of like where I am with those, and I had to kind of take a break with them. Like I say, I had to take a break on another project to go to this project because it just wasn't working out. And what that thing is that I was talking about was the Imperial Knight Lancer that I got. So I've been trying to do this kind of green marble effect on the armor, and it has not been working out. So here it is. I mean, you can kind of see, like, it's kind of, I got too much light here. If I can get the glare. Alright, I don't know if you can see that better or not. So, I don't know. It looks okay, but I was trying to do like a dark green, and it was not working. I also did like the white marble effect on the shoulders, which looks great, really, in person. It looks awesome. But after I did that and this, I realized there's just too much going on. So, I'm probably going to transition to a solid color on the shoulder pads. And then, I don't know, I got to figure out something else for the rest of it. Because it just doesn't look good. Like, so I tried doing, I did a white under base coat or whatever at first, and then over that, tried to do the dried out, stretched out baby wipe. You put it on and then spray through with a darker green, but it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. It seems like in my head it should work the same way as the other way, which is essentially just prime with black. You put it over and then spray like a white color over it, and you take it off, and boom, it looks like marble. It looks awesome. And you can do like variation of shades and stuff like that to get your colors up. So there's a little bit more depth to the marble, but just like a quick, simple one go looks pretty cool. But this, I don't know why it just wouldn't. The green wouldn't like just wasn't working. Like I said, I just can't wrap my head around why or what was going on, why it wasn't working, or what to do. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I did it the other way, the regular way, and then just tried to took like an ink and tried to go over it, knowing it probably wasn't gonna give me what I wanted, and sure enough, it didn't. It's too bright. I even tried to go with a little bit darker and just try to get a different darker shade over it, but then that was just started to essentially paint over it. Like I couldn't get it thin enough or light enough to do kind of a shade or a glaze over everything to just kind of stain it, I guess, to make it darker. So I don't know where I'm at with that right now. It's kind of frustrating. Things were going fairly well on it up until that point, and so now I feel like I'm kind of back to square one. Like even though I've got colors on it, it just doesn't. It seems like the furthest thing from done right now. So not sure where I'm going with that, but yeah. So then the Dead Terminator from the Maliceptor kit. I wanted that because I put on that base. I'm going to make a cast of it, and I'm going to make a bunch of objective kind of tokens, like I did before with my other Fallen Primaris Marines, with the purpose of, like I've done before, like this coming Nova though, I want to hand them out to my opponents as part of like a good game, thanks for the game kind of thing, like I did last year with the Primaris Fallen Marines. Except this will be a Terminator, and I'm going to paint him up like a Deathwing because my hope, and I don't know how it's going to go. My hope is to take Deathwing to the Grand Tournament this year, which I signed up for the Grand Tournament again. Even though I'm not a tournament player by any means, I just I just want to have fun, get some games in. That's usually the best way to get a bunch of games in. So that's my thought on that. But I also don't know with this new Pariah Nexus mission set or whatever coming out. It sounds like they're putting a lot more emphasis on battle line. And I want to take all Deathwing because I wanted something like small numbers but elite and tough. But I don't know how that's going to work unless they come out with a detachment or added to one of the detachment that if you take the Deathwing Terminator, like an all Deathwing detachment, like your Terminators are battle line. I don't know. Hopefully that happens so that I guess I'll take them. Like I said, I've got plenty. I don't have the newest stuff painted, but I do have plenty of just painted stuff for the Star Commanders. I could hobble something together should I need to. But I would rather not. I'd rather take the Deathwing with me. But anyway. But speaking of the Deathwing too, something that I hope to have coming up here is I want to do kind of a 24-hour paint challenge where I going to paint my whole Deathwing army in 24 hours or see how far I can get within 24 hours. and that's like a stay up the whole time thing. Now there's going to be some issues that I got to figure out because I have a family and 4 young kids, and for them to not interrupt in a 24-hour period is going to be very extremely hard to figure that out. So I'm also going to need to take work off at least for 2 days, maybe three, depending upon how I want to do it, so I can. I feel like I would like the first day. I would probably honestly would do three just to be safe, so I can like immediately like the first day would be my 24-hour period, and then I have like kind of 2 days to kind of like crash the second day, and then the third day try to get back into somewhat of a regular sleep so I can get back to work, and maybe figure it out into doing it into a weekend, so that way I just get like those extra few days as well. So we'll see how that works. I'm not really sure. That's something I have to like organize with the wife, and without any family close, it's not like I can just tell her to go to your parents with the kids or something like that. So um, yeah, we'll figure that out. I don't know. I definitely want to do that. At the very least, I've thought about trying to figure out a way to maybe live stream it on Twitch. I'd have to figure out a way to set up some sort of overhead camera so you could see what I'm working on. Because otherwise, I don't know. You want to like see this right here and like I'm painting, but everything's happening just below the camera because you can't really see. Um, that would probably be boring. But I might just do that, just Twitch to keep me honest, kind of thing. So it's a live stream, but then um, I don't like I said I don't know the logistics of that. Plus, like I can't do everything in my little hobby office space area. A lot of stuff I do out in the garage as well, and so trying to like go back and forth, and I don't know how that's gonna work yet. But um, at the very least, I also want to get like a clock. And again, like people would just say like, "Oh, well, you messed with it, or you really didn't stand for 24 hours." I don't know, whatever. I'm definitely gonna do this because I think altogether I have like it's maybe like 40 models maybe, and I painting that one model of the month. I feel like I have a pretty decent like recipe and steps to complete. I feel like I could fairly quickly complete a really cool grim dark Deathwing army. I think it would look really good. So, but yeah, I would want to get like at least a digital kind of clock thing that would count down or count up, however it would go, like 24 hours, so I could at least always have that on in the background. Because at the end, like even if I can't do a Twitch or something, I would like to at least do like a obviously way edited down time lapse style video to put on YouTube and stuff for people to watch later, and then also showcase the end result of what I got. So that's my thoughts on that. So hopefully that works out. The Fallen Terminators will not be part of that challenge. I'll do those after later on, um, but yeah. So I guess that's kind of it of everything I've got going on right now. So kind of a lot of different things, a lot of moving stuff. Very busy. Like I said, another thing I got to do is I got a lot of excess stuff and a lot of projects that just didn't come together like I wanted them to, or I had lots of big ideas, big hopes, and not enough time to do them. So I've got a lot of stuff I just kind of have to unload and hopefully recoup some money with that. But there's the frustrations of going through that whole process because like eBay now, like the fees associated with listing stuff on eBay is like cut they take from what you actually sell it for, and everybody wants everything at a discount, even stuff that's brand new in box and never been opened. Like unless it's super way out of print, like they want a discount. Everybody wants a discount, which is annoying. I've thought about some things too, like the sisters from that Chalnath thing. I tried selling those forever ago, and they never sold. And so I'm like, what am I gonna do with these? Like they still aren't selling. Like I can't give these things away, basically. But I also thought, well, maybe I can put them together and paint them, and then at least I paint a pretty decent quality. Like I could probably, at the very minimum, get retail back on a painted squad or whatever. But again, when I think about that, it's like, but that's time away from me painting my own stuff and other things I've got deadlines for that I want to get done. So it's not really an option or a good choice to do that even. So I don't know how that's gonna work. like I said, like eBay's frustrating because most of the time people still want a discount even if it's brand new in box, because otherwise they could just go to their local gaming store that already gives them a discount, or just buy it from a game store or Games Workshop that doesn't have a discount, but they get it same day. They don't have to wait for shipping, or in some cases they don't have to pay for shipping. Um, so there's that, and then like other things like Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. Everybody again, like they always haggle. They want to like, oh, I'll give you this for it. When you're say like, even if you post this, no other offers, no lower, just this is the price. They still come at and say, oh, I'll give you this for it, or you know the classic, is it still available? Can you hold it? Or whatever, and then they just disappear. So it's just I hate it. Oh, it's just annoying. But I gotta do something. I got way too much stuff. I do wish there was kind of a maybe like a local like swap meet kind of thing where we can meet up and literally swap models, bits, or buy stuff from each other. Then we want to get like a yard sale kind of deal, but with hobby stuff. So that would be really awesome. And I kind of mentioned it too with like bits. Like I have so many bits that I don't need, and like I'm not about to part them out and be like this bit, and that, whatever, and then have to ship a million different bits every 2 days or whatever it be. I just don't have the time to do that, to the point where I've stopped clipping a lot of my extra bits off the sprues, and I've just been leaving them on the sprues because I have way too many bits everywhere. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody would be interested in like a bulk bits buy, and you just get random Photon, Orcs, Space Marines, Tau just on the sprue, and a whole just pile of mixed up crap of bits. Like I don't know if that's interest to anybody or not. Because like I said, I have plenty of bits in inventory right now for conversions and other stuff that I don't really need all these extra bits. But I also just don't want to throw them out, and there is value to them to somebody to some extent. So I also don't want to just like hand them out for free necessarily either. But I don't know. That's kind of where I am on all that. Oh, I forgot to mention too. I've got a couple things. So I got this as well that I need to build. Excited for that. This is from the Warhammer TV thing, which I actually don't watch a ton of stuff on Warhammer TV every now and again, but I don't know. Other than like you get these cool little deals to get a model, I don't know. I'm paying for the model, I feel like, and I'm getting Warhammer for free because the year it costs about the same if I was to buy that model on its own, right? But the value in Warhammer TV is not really a ton. At least I haven't seen a ton, so it's kind of like, but I'm buying this model and I'm getting Warhammer TV versus I'm getting Warhammer TV, or I'm buying Warhammer TV and I'm getting the model in return, kind of thing. Oh, well, I gotta move this back. Kind of threw it right where I don't want it. And then the other thing I got was the Space Marine Heroes. So again, we had the Kill Team Phobos set came out, and then now we have the Kill Team Scout Squad that just came out, and then we have this, which has a Kill Team. These all have a rule for Kill Team, and if you get a whole box of them, you get like one duplicate, one random duplicate. But yeah, so I got these. These are another, at least in the States, a Target exclusive. Online exclusive only, actually, so you can't even get those in the store. So I got a set of them, and again, just it's another thing in line of stuff I need to get done. But yeah, so that's where I am on all of that as of right now. So a lot of stuff to go. I'm excited for all of it, and hopefully I can keep this momentum going. I don't want to burn out like I had, and hopefully by changing up the different things I'm painting here and there will help keep that fire kind of going. I don't have any immediate plans, honestly, to get back to my Star Commanders for a little while. I want to. I definitely enjoy them and enjoy painting them, and I have plenty of stuff to work on with them. But like I said, I want to work on these Pathfinder Kill Team, the Votann Kill Team, this Orc Kill Team, the Imperial Knight, and then figure out this Deathwing army and get that knocked out. I also got the the Kroot hunting pack army set, which I would love to get to as well. But my town in general, like that's just a labor of love. Like an army I've always wanted, and I've had multiple different ways and times, but the schemes I've had in the past just never really fit. But I've really come up with a scheme I love, and I'm having fun painting them. But it's definitely taking forever. Again, it's kind of one of those things where painting all these small infantry models or putting together all these crisis suits is just time consuming, but I want them to look good, so I don't want to rush it. So I'm definitely taking my time. And like I said, the Ghost Kill was like the first one that I put together because it's one of my favorite battle suits, and it looks awesome. And then the Storm Surge was the next one I finished, and it just absolutely looks killer with those effects on it as well. Then the Kroot started coming out. And I mean, I built like a bunch of other stuff and got things kind of in various stages of paint as well as far as the Tau go. But then the Kroot came out and got me motivated to work on them because I always loved the Kroot. So I got two Lone Spears. I was planning on building. One is the sniper, one is the spear thrower, which I built the sniper one and painted him, and it looks awesome. Got the Trail Shaper, painted him, looks awesome, and then I decided to knock out the Kill Band. What do they call it? The Farstalker Kindred or something like that. And they look great. Love them. Love the scheme, and so really like tempted to just dive into building that army set as well. I haven't even opened the box of them yet, but I'm gonna wait because I got other things I would like to work on first before I get to them. But yeah, no, they turned out really really nice. But that was another thing too that I messed up with, like with as busy as everything's been, and I've had to put a bunch of stuff in storage, and then I had to move, and then getting stuff out of storage, putting it into different storage, and through all that, like when I went to build the Kroot Kill Team, I actually bought the standalone Kill Team box set for them, not remembering I had actually bought I think it was the Into the Dark set. So I have an unopened Into the Dark set that I was only interested in really the terrain and the Kroot, and I completely forgot that I bought it. So like I think it's the Imperial Navy team or something in there. Wasn't interested in them. Don't know if anybody else is interested in them, but my plan was to at least sell them and keep the terrain and the Kroot. And then I completely forgot I had the box and found it when I was going through storage the other day. I was like, crap, I already have this. And I already built the other Kroot Kill Team. So, but that being said, I'm probably going to try to sell this set since I don't really need it. And I just decided, like, if I haven't built it and pulled the train out of it already, I'm just probably not going to. So at this point, I just need to sell it, try to recruit money for it if I can. But again, that's one I don't know what it's going for. Hopefully, like, it sells if people are interested in it. But I feel like if people wanted the Kroot, they got the Kroot. And if people wanted the Navy team, they got the Navy team already. So I don't know. Hopefully, I can get something back for it. Hopefully, like I said, retail, but I don't know. We'll see. The other thing too is it's so heavy, so trying to ship that anywhere is like I can't offer free shipping. Otherwise, that's just gonna, like, again, really eat into any profit margin. And I say profit margin, I just feel like I'm just trying to make any money back I can because I'm not really making a profit. It's something I've already bought at full price when it came out. So, I don't know. It's annoying, but it is what it is. I screwed up big time on that one. So, yeah. And I've kind of learned, as much as I might want to get stuff kind of earlier, to just pass up on the box set if I am in no way, shape, or form looking to build and paint or even play whatever it is, like, ASAP. Because, like, the Jaegers go up for pre-order next week. But I can't remember who they're in their box set with the opponent. But it's a team I'm not interested in at all. There's a little bit of training that looks kind of cool and it's unique. It's not seen anywhere else as of right now. Um, but I would just be getting them a little bit earlier than when their standalone box comes out. And yeah, it's usually kind of cheaper, but at the same time, it's only cheaper if you have somebody or some way to split or sell the other half of the box. So for me, as of right now, it wouldn't be a cheaper thing, or it would be a cheaper thing, but not a smart thing because I would probably most likely be stuck and hung up with these extra models like I feel like I am on a lot of other things. So, uh, yeah. Well, I think that's enough of my rambling for now. So that's just kind of everything I got going on. If you've made it this far, I greatly thank you. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, it helps the channel, helps grow things, and I appreciate it for sure. Leave your comments down below on anything I talked about. Love to have a discussion and hear what you have to say. And then check out the links in the description below. Take you to my Facebook page, Instagram, see what I got going on there, what I'm sharing around with different projects and stuff I got going on. So, yeah, I'm going to close this one out for now. And until next time.